G'day fellas and welcome to a casted game. Spawning in on the west side of the map, playing as the Chinese in the color red, we've got Beastie Cutie. That is correct. The world's first Conqueror player. It is him. It is Beastie Cutie who is here. And he is taking on the one, the only, TheViper. And Viper has spawned in over on that west side, or rather that east side of the map, playing as the Blue French. You can see he's already got a couple of sheep working towards him. He's got 2 scouts out nice and early. We'll take a look at how Beastie Cutie is going to be playing it, because that is the question. Second scout coming out already for him. Opening up with a scout first, then going into an Imperial official. I think this is the correct build for China. I've been doing some theory crafting, and I feel like this is probably the best. I've seen players go for an Imperial official first. I've seen players go for... Oh, a little bit of a mistake. That's all right. He'll fix it up. There we go. So I've seen people go for a scout first before, or rather an IO first, but the truth is, like, you're buffing up your food, but you're not really getting that much in. It doesn't help you out a huge part. Whereas getting that scout out early, you can see right here, this is the scout. It's already found those 3 sheep, and we take a look at Viper. You can see he's not really intent on scouting this part, but I'm sure there are scenarios where having that extra scout out just a little bit early is going to help out your sheep income. But Beastie's struggling to find those extra sheep. We'll take a look at how Viper's doing. He's already picked up a couple sheep around the back of the base of Beastie. A lot of bees right there. We're going to be alliterating a lot with the base of Beastie, back in the base of Beastie. But Viper already stealing a couple of sheep from his opponent. And look at this, Viper actually, he instead of going for the central sheep, because for anybody unfamiliar, there are 6 central sheep, 2 sets of 3. And for some reason, I just had PUBG come into my head. Desinea Polyana is the place I'm thinking of. I don't know. Actually, I think that's more of an internal me. Anyway, I don't know why that came in. I just had like PUBG was like Yo Drongo, PUBG. Specifically this part. I'll see you guys in Pachinki. But anyway, so Viper has not gone for those central sheep. Normally there'll be like 3 sheep that spawn here, and there'll be 3 sheep that spawn down here. Viper, he did come through the middle of the map, but take a look at the path that he used. He came through the middle of the map, directly to the enemy's base, did a little bit of a zig, a little bit of a zag, came through, steals the sheep around the back of his enemy's base, and then makes his way back towards the enemies, or back towards his own base. But by the same token, he sent his second scout around his own base to guarantee the sheep. And it's a pretty smart move when you think about it, because now we look at Beastie. Beastie's somewhat struggling. He's got 1 sheep here, he's got 5, 6 sheep here, but Viper's doing pretty well. He's got the sheep advantage, you'd have to say, at this point in the game. So we'll look to see how Viper continues to move forward, dropping down that school of cavalry now. 3 villagers going down, and this is the rush. This is what I would say is like as close to the rush that the French can actually do. When I say the rush, I mean, like, you know, he's actually rushing it. Like, this is probably going to be close to about a 4 minute and 5 second age up, maybe even a little bit earlier, maybe like a 3:55 age up. You're going to have a knight out straight away. He's only got 4 villagers here on gold, but keep in mind, there are no villagers on wood at this point in time, which to me says he's not thinking about wheelbarrow. There's obviously no mill. He's not thinking about wheelbarrow. He's not thinking about, you know, even professional scouts. He is literally just like, I am playing this like week 1 of release. I am going ham. I'm going to take you out. Watch out. And that's exactly what he's going to be doing. So we'll take a look at how Beastie is doing. And Beastie already coming down with the landmark. Interestingly, dropping it down with the 1 villager. This is twice we've seen Beastie Cutie do this today. Beastie Cutie dropping down a landmark with a single villager. Is this the new meta? Is this the new way to play Age of Empires 4? Just using 1 villager when you know that your enemy is potentially going to be a little bit slow. And he might know that Viper's going to be slow. Maybe he hasn't really, to be fair, he hasn't actually scouted him out. He doesn't know what he's up to. He doesn't know if there's a wood camp over there. So he could be in a bit of a bad position here, because if Viper looks to come out, which he is, and you can see that Viper is harassing this villager, forcing the delay here, and Viper coming back now, going to be looking to turn his attention towards the villager. This could be bad for Beastie Cutie. Because, keep in mind, he's going to have to pull, as soon as Viper ages up, we talked about it, it could be a 4 or 5 age up from Viper. I said, or maybe even a 3:55. Looks like it might be a little bit longer than that. Maybe a 4:15 age up. We'll have to wait. We'll have to see how long it's going to be. But now Villager going to be forced back from here. This is the landmark for Beastie. Viper now reaches the feudal age. Beastie Cutie realizes he might be in a bit of trouble. Gets up. He sends out a second villager, but I'm not feeling the best for Beastie right now. This is not going to be pretty. Landmark is going to be coming up. Viper going to be... you know, narrowly potentially missing these villagers. You can see he's rallying out towards this position as well. 2 villagers tapping away at it. I suspect we're going to see Beastie head out onto the map and try and shadow any potential night raids that come in, but it is looking like he's going to be okay. He's going to get the landmark up, and I think Viper realizes that with that second villager coming out. So Beastie not too worried at this point in time. We'll have a look at how Beastie's base building. How is it going? Ideally, when it comes for to his second landmark, he will want it in here. That's a barracks. Wonderful. So second landmark should be right here. as long as it's touching the mill. And I think it should be 2 there. Yeah, so that's perfect. So he wants to put his Imperial Academy right here. That will be perfect because that's getting him in as far into that wood line as possible. Also gets this wood line and picks up this mill, which is focused on the berries, focused on these sheep as well. But we'll look to see how Viper plays it now that the scouts are out. He's going to be moving up towards the north of the base of Beastie and trying to find an opening. Second Knight going to be coming out for him. He's going to be working on that third Knight wheelbarrow coming in behind this as well. So a little bit of a delayed economic opening here. But I got to say, I like the way Viper is playing it. I always felt like whenever there was Knights in my base very early, it was difficult to deal with. But keep in mind, Beastie dropped down that barracks already. So there will be spearmen waiting, lying in wait, ready to go. But the question is going to be how many as he comes in on the gold mine rather. Villagers here. Got to wake up. Beastie Cutie not aware. Going to be losing a villager here. First one going to be going down. Let's watch as it takes the last hit. And indeed, Beastie loses the first villager of the game. He is preoccupied, dropping a scout down as well. Beastie looking like he might be a little bit ruffled, a little bit ruffled rather, by Viper's French. Viper's French coming out hurting from multiple angles. And Scout now going to go down in the middle of the map. Beastie Cutie making a second blunder, rather a third blunder. And now Knight heading into the wood line. It's going to be cleaned up here by the town center as well as those spears. There is no misaction in that point. But yeah, at this point in time, you got to say Beastie Cutie looking to struggle in the early game at this stage against the aggression Viper is putting out. He's lost 2 scouts, which ideally you don't want to be losing. He's also lost a villager on that gold mine, so we'll keep watching and see how he plays it out. Keep in mind, Beastie Cutie is the world's first Conqueror player, so if there's anybody who's going to be able to get back into this game, it's gonna be him. But speaking of world's first Conqueror player, Beastie Cutie, if you don't know, make sure you check out Beastie Cutie's YouTube channel. I'm going to leave a link in the description. I'll leave a link in the description to Viper's YouTube channel as well, but I'm sure you've heard about that one. I know a lot of you Age of Empires fans come from, Age of Empires 2, so you'll be familiar with the Viper, but you might not be familiar with the YouTube channel of Beastie Cutie, so I'll leave a link in the description. Make sure you check out his videos. He's got a lot of funny stuff on there. Honestly, he's a hilarious content creator as well. But now back towards the base of Viper. Viper quite heavily gathering up wood. We'll take a look at his economic upgrades. You can see Chivalry's actually coming in. A couple of Knights going to get caught with their pants down. Viper not paying attention. First Knight going to be going down. Second Knight makes it through the wall. Even though that wall looks like it is up, I think it's just the 2 pillars that are either side. And now back towards the mill. Viper going to be able to harass it once again. We see that there are no villagers that actually went down in this position. There are just carcasses of the sheep. No villager carcasses though. But now Beastie Cutie looks to move out and actually going to be putting the Imperial Academy down in an interesting spot. So one thing to note is that with the village here, obviously this village was placed to protect villagers in this situation. But by putting the Imperial Academy here, you hit the gold mine, which is great. But one of the big things is you miss all of the wood lines, and that's going to be a source of so much early tax for you to be bringing in. And part of the recent thing that I'm doing is really as a Chinese player looking to focus on how could I maximize my tax income. Yes, I'm a dirty communist. Whoa, calm down. That whoa, Drongo, that took a step. That was a wild step. But you guys get the point, right? Like, I'm maximizing my tax revenue, right? I'm using a mechanic of the in-game. Oh, geez, that was close, Drongo. You almost said a bad word there, and you almost said it in a bad way. But don't worry, we're okay. We're friends to everybody here. We're friends of the party. We're friends of the we're friends of the family. We are friends to everybody. That was another joke. I'm not sure if you guys got that. But we'll just leave the jokes right now because Viper is not joking about it. He is not joking at all. He is going up to the castle age. He is going up with the guild hall. 9 villagers tapping away on that in the base. Nice and safely. What kind of economic upgrades have we got here for Viper? He's just got wheelbarrow at this point in time. No survival techniques. No deforestation. No forestry, rather. No double broadaxe. No specialized pick. And now Spearman coming into the gold mine on Viper. Viper suffering a Spearman raid. And I gotta say, I do like this coming out from Beastie Cutie. It makes a lot of sense in this scenario. Yeah, at this point in time, Beastie Cutie is just doing what he does best, and that is just harassing. He's multitasking. He's forcing his enemy to make blunders, and now, as a result, Spear's going to be coming out towards this scout. Viper does pick it up, fortunately, spotting it. Royal Knight going to be escaping with 21 health. Both of these units going to be able to heal back up, but I will just compliment Beastie Cutie on the beautiful walls he's got. He's playing China. We're 9 minutes in, and he has already walled off 3 choke points. Obviously, this one's still yet to be walled up completely. Knight going to be able to clean up this position. Wolf coming in on the action as well, but one of the difficulties that you will have against the French is that the French love to raid from all angles. They come in from the south, they come in from the east, they come in from the north. They always try and find a way into your base. But one of the things that Beastie Cutie has done very well is controlled the narrative up until this position. And he is going to continue to do that as the game develops because he's got those walls up. It's going to mean that there are less raids coming in from these angles. So it means that he's going to be able to man fight him, as I like to say. You know, where you're just facing one guy down the middle and it's just me and you, mono, we're just fighting it out. We're, toughing it out, boxing each other. You're not kicking me in the gonads. You're not, hitting my Achilles, all that kind of stuff, or in the kidneys. We're just punching each other in the face. And that's what Beastie Cutie says. He says, I'm going to wall off the sides. I'm going to stop you from doing those annoying, pesky raids. But Viper doesn't listen. Viper continues to move through the front door up towards that northern part. And now Beastie going to be looking to defend. We see that scout out towards the middle. Viper he's going to be heading straight through to this gold mine, and there are no spearmen back here. You can see that Beastie's immediate reaction is to evacuate everybody. Astronomical clock tower going to be going down right next to the Imperial Academy, but could be a dangerous position. 2 villagers going to go down now. It's going to be the 3rd villagers that have been lost here for Beastie Cutie, and more villagers going to be lost, but spears are coming out first. Knight going to be going down, does manage to save a spear, and now Scout going to be heading out across the map, looking to find out a bit more information about what Viper is up to. He knows that he's in the castle age. Actually, yeah, he's in the castle age. But he doesn't know much more than that, and he's looking to see, okay, where are you hunting? And Viper making sure that scout gets shut down. He's only got knights on it. If he had a horseman, then he'd actually be able to run it down. Now villagers moving. Speaking of run it down, Beastie does like to play League of Legends sometime, and we've got a monastery now coming up for Viper. So that is how Viper is going to look to get ahead with regard to the economy. We know that Beastie's in that Song Dynasty. It's going to mean... Rest in peace, friend. Rest in peace with your lance in hand, it seems. That knight was all too young for this world. But yeah, one of the things to note, obviously Beastie is in the Song Dynasty. Song Dynasty are going to be creating villages faster than what the French are going to be creating. Both of these civilizations actually get bonuses towards their villager creation. So with the Song Dynasty, you're going up to a 35% bonus, or rather a 35% reduction. So that means that you're training villagers every 13 seconds. Compare that over to the French in the Castle Age, who's going to be making them every 16 seconds. So you can see that it's about 3 seconds shorter. But that is going to build an economic lead slowly over time for Beastie Cutie. And as a result, Viper looks to offset that by picking up relics. First relic coming in now. Multiple spearmen getting picked off here. And this is a struggle that Beastie's going to continue to have throughout this game. He's had it early. He's going to have it as this game goes on. If the knights are in larger number, the knights will always be able to take advantageous fights because they are faster than their opponents. But now, Viper on the front line here, gathering up stone, might be pushing out for a keep. We can see he's got 540 stone in the bank right now. We'll take a look back towards Beastie's base and see what he's got in plan, because it looks like it's just going to be veteran spears at this point in time. So he's looking to only really play spearman-based compositions. And now Beastie also sitting up with 640 stone in the bank. What are you doing with all that stone, Beastie? That is just a little way short of a keep. But my suspicion is from here that we're going to see Viper, if he looks to go for this, he's going for a town center. Both of these players gathered up 600 stone and then only dropped 1 town center. We see that Beastie hasn't even dropped his second town center yet. But Viper going to be playing it a little bit more economically. And now pushing out down towards the south. I'm not sure exactly what Beastie was doing, looking to potentially deny relics, I suspect. But now Viper going to be pushing out towards this position, managing to pick up a couple of spears once again. And this is the theme of the game. More spears getting picked off when they're in these low numbers like this. Knight's doing just such a great job of forcing the issue in this scenario. And Viper having a great find in this place. Going to be able to pick up a couple more. He's going to be able to bait out the rest of these. Keep in mind, he doesn't care if he takes damage on these knights, because even if he does, they're going to be able to heal up. They've got that chivalry bonus, and now Archer's moving in, looking to do damage towards villager. Beastie Cutie needs to pay attention. Second town center coming down underneath the first town center. Beastie yet to lose. Actually, is that a villager dead? That's a villager dead. At the same time, raid up towards the north from a scout. Veteran spearman going to be here to pick it up, but Viper immediately going to be coming away. It's not really a raid, it's more of a distraction. But now first relic going to be picked up here for Beastie Cutie. Keep in mind that second relic already gone for Viper. Viper is out on the map. He's already picked up 2 relics. Third relic is coming back, or it should be, yeah, coming back. There it is, third relic on the way back. That push towards the front of the base still coming through right now for Viper. He's looking to try and do some damage here, but at the same time, he's just looking to harass his enemy. He's cognizant of the fact that the enemy has a fair amount of spears, and he's not going to be able to push it underneath this town center. This town center is going to be looking very violently upon the units down below it. Viper going to be able to break through that wall. Let's see how he responds behind this Viper, looking to get upgrades. And as you can see, he just sieges down the wall, and he's going to be coming through now. Viper turning his Royal Knights towards the position. There are villagers down here. First villager going to be going down. Second villager going to be doing the same. A couple of spearmen, in fact, only a single spearman going to be in here. Do manage to get picked off. A lot of arrows coming out. Viper doing a great job of taking out more and more villagers. At the same time, we've got a couple of spearmen looking to do a raid. Once again, Beastie Cutie just harassing his opponent, forcing him off those resources. Monk up towards the north, going to be looking to capture that sacred site, but not if the Knight's got anything to say about it. And now those spearmen raid is going to get cleaned up. Veteran archers indeed coming out for Viper. And we'll take a little look at the villager count right now, because the villager count is going to continue to dwindle for Beastie Cutie. He is struggling with the pressure being put out by the Viper at this point in time. You'd love to see just a little wall come in from this northern position as well, just to try and stop and close these raids coming in. The Viper did go in for a swing on that villager. He would have killed it, but unfortunately he pulled away at the last second, was fearful of losing his life with regard to those Royal Knights. But villager count at the moment for Beastie Cutie, we can see he's getting specialized pick, he's getting double broadaxe, he's getting forestry, all the upgrades looking to come in. Finally, we do actually have that wall coming across the front, like I alluded to. So he's going to be able to stop that, but he is sitting on 53 villagers right now. On the other side of the map, Viper, with 2 town centers down already, is sitting on 61 villagers. So a big lead coming out already for Viper. Looking to drop down a keep. We see the keep coming down in a defensive position here. Still not the optimal position, but he's looking to try and hold control of this area. You can see the way he's positioned it up towards this this second town center, and now he captures the sacred site up towards the north. 1 sacred site going over to Viper. He's got 3 of the relics so far. The 4th relic has been captured by Beastie Cutie, as well as the 5th relic. So 2 to 3 relics split. Not too bad for a Chinese player who got up a lot lower, or a lot slower rather, than his opponent. Now, keep in mind, Beastie Cutie is currently sitting at Conqueror rank. If he loses this game, he will actually be losing his Conqueror rank. So will Viper be able to take that Conqueror rank off Beastie Cutie? That is what we're looking to find out right now, because Beastie Cutie, he's taken the ladder by storm. He went 38-2 on his rise to rank 1 Conqueror. But now Viper looks intent on taking it off him as the Knights continue to move in towards the base. A lot of spearmen here to greet them, and they say g'day. That is why we've walled up towards this position, because we're controlling the narrative. This is what I talk about. Viper knows if this is walled off, he has to come through this front angle, and now it leaves Beastie Cutie open to control that. He says, well, if you want to come through there, that's fine, because I've got spearmen to greet you. And that's what we talk about when we say controlling the narrative. Walling up your base. Stopping the story. Stopping that story of your enemy. Sacred site neutralized towards the north right before the Knights actually get there. Archer's going to be able to clean that up and back towards Viper's base. Now he's continuing to add more infrastructure around that keep that was down towards the front of his base. Second town center continuing to pump out villagers. We see that Viper sitting on 73 villagers right now compared to Beastie Cutie, who's on 64. So less than 10 villagers difference between them. Keep in mind, Beastie has added in a 3rd town center. This is a greedy play from Beastie Cutie, and probably something I would avoid doing unless you were playing on maybe Hill and Dale, because one of the things people don't remember when you're playing the Chinese, even though 3 town centers sounds great, it is so much food. It is so much bloody food. He's got 27 villagers on food right now. Every single bit of food is going into villager production. Every 13 seconds, he needs 150 food. Whereas Viper, he only needs 100 food every 16 seconds. So it's not a big deal, not as much as a big deal. So while yes, Beastie Cutie is going to scale much faster than his opponent and get to that late game faster, the question is whether he's actually going to make that late game, because Viper is definitely sitting here. Viper is on a timer, but Viper, if he's oh, I love the walls coming out from Beastie. If there's any civilization that's going to look to end the game early, it's going to be the French. Beastie Cutie actually not walling. He's done a great job of preventing the overchops. And I got to say, this is something that I need to learn to do. So I really want to admire it when we see it. But now Viper taking all 3 sacred sites. Village are going to be moving out to heal up that, or to actually build that wall that was never built. And now up towards the north, we see another spearman coming out, getting taken out by a few of those archers that are sitting by, lying in wait. Viper coming in towards this position. He's going to continue sieging down the wall. Ideally, you want to see those nest of bees move forward, and indeed you do, looking to cover that gate and now moving around towards the east of the wall. We'll take a look back towards the base of Viper. We can see some springalds beginning to build up in anticipation of those nest of bees, and we've spotted those nest of bees before. Viper knows that the nest of bees are out now. Spearman looking to come out, a couple crossbows on the back line as well, looking to fend off from this position. Viper going to be able to, you know, cause a little bit of wood loss in that situation. But when it comes to wood sufficiency, let me tell you, Beastie Cutie is the kind of guy who's always going to have sufficient wood. Outpost going up behind the lines as well. And this is a great way to stop those overchops. So typically, what's an overchop? Overchop is where you wall between a lumber or a wood line like this. And what happens is your villagers begin chopping. They begin chopping into this wood line. They chop these trees, and all of a sudden they chop this tree. And maybe this tree is okay, but as soon as they chop that one, a little pathway happens, and that is called an overchop. So what does Beastie do? He walls around the back of the forest to make sure that there is no potential overchop happening, because you can see there are openings that have begun building, and Viper able to see into that wood line. He knows where those villagers are, and now we see the outpost looking to get the sprinkled in placement on it, try and hold this position. Viper can begin to crackle, or rather Beastie looking to crackle off with the nest of bees. He is this is where the nest of Beastie meme comes in right now. So this is a funny meme that someone in chat on Twitch said, and I was like, you know what, I gotta give that guy respect. I gotta call that meme out. Whenever you see a good meme, whenever you're casting a game and there's a Twitch chat involved, you love to look to it, and if you see anything funny in there, you gotta repeat that out. You gotta let everybody enjoy that with you, because that was absolutely hilarious rather, but not quite hilarious. But yeah, there was a great meme that was posted on Reddit as well, the nest of Beastie, and it was like the nest of bees, and it had little Beastie faces in each of these sockets. But he's doing a great job of defending. But keep in mind, behind this, Viper's got those springleds out already, and Viper has got the sacred sites. Viper is going to Imperial. The Red Palace, he's looking to put it down. Where is it going down? It's going up towards the north. Viper determines that this is the most likely place where Beastie's going to look to be doing some sort of attack. And now those nest of bees firing off from behind the walls, the safety of the base. But this is the difficult thing, right? Beastie is on a timer. We know that. He's got less than 10 minutes to go. He's got the 3 town centers down, so he's pumping out villagers non-stop. He's sitting on 104 villagers as Viper reaches the Imperial Age. Viper sitting on 95, so he's barely been able to catch up to Viper. He's obviously caught up to him. He's overtaken him, but now Beastie looking to begin adding in. Look at this. He's got the granary, and he's supervising it. He reads Reddit, ladies and gentlemen. Beastie Cutie is reading Reddit. There it is. That's your Reddit post right there, so he's going to continue adding in a second layer around this. It's actually a very efficient way to do farming with the granary. And look at this. He's only added just a few farms around his initial base, and then he's begun to migrate over towards this location. So he'll be adding more farms the longer this game goes on. And I got to say, I love it. I love seeing the Reddit. I don't even know what you would call this, but there was a post on Reddit where the guy said, I'm pretty sure this is the most efficient way to do farms as the Chinese. So the trick here is to use the Imperial Official, and that's going to mitigate the walking distance. And now, speaking of walking distance, Viper walks all the way over towards his enemy. Springwood's coming in. Viper realizes he doesn't have to take this fight if he wants to, despite having a much larger mass than his opponent. 4 Nest of Bees on the backline. Springwood's going to be coming in, looking for a potential snipe. Keep in mind, Viper is up in the Imperial Age. Roller Shutter Triggers could be coming out. It's not quite out yet. We'll tune in with Viper and see if it's on the way. Indeed, it's on the way. 15 seconds to go. He's going to be able to pick off the first Nest of Bees. All of the army getting cleaned up from this position. And remember what I talked about earlier. The fact right now that Beastie Cutie is sitting on 3 TCs. He is putting all of his food into villages non-stop. These TCs are requiring food. So Beastie needs time. He needs time to get on his feet. And the question is whether he's going to have that time, because Viper has taken all of the sacred sites. He's gotten up into the Imperial Edge. But now Beastie, down towards the south of the map, looks to create himself a bit of a foothold. You can see that he's beginning to push out. He's managed to drop a castle on this, or rather a keep on this sacred site. And then we see a siege workshop coming up in immediate proximity to the keep. Beastie going to be looking to take control. But now Viper, to respond to this, immediately gets a cannon in placement upon this keep, and there's no line of sight being provided, but an outpost is going to be going up very shortly. And now up towards the north, a keep going to be coming up there for Beastie Cutie. I don't think he realizes that the Red Palace is up there. There is no way you are absolutely even thinking about contesting that position. Villagers going to be going down here. We see Elite Royal Knights coming out as well, and down towards the south, more units beginning to move out. We see those villagers on the wood line. Villagers getting cleaned up. They're not even jumping inside the town center at this point. They're just heading back to base. Nest of Bees going to be firing off upon those upon those Royal Knights and managing to repel them at this point in time. But now the sacred sites continue to tick. Sprinkled mass continuing to build. Roller Shutter Triggers is in. We see Royal Bombards coming out. In fact, those are just normal cannons. I take it back. Not Royal Bombards. The French don't even have Bombards, Drongo, you dickhead. There it is, the cannon going to be coming out. And this keep, the Beastie, look to put down to secure and solidify this position up towards the north. It's already going to be going down with less than 60 seconds on it, but now down towards the south. Archers moving in towards this position. Viper trying to solidify his position down towards the south, and Beastie stuck between a rock and a hard place as he's walled himself into a corner, and the question is whether he's going to have enough time to push out of it. Viper at the moment sitting on 108 villagers, Beastie sitting on 120, but still going to be able to clean up that position. No real access to resources down here. He's got the gold mine, that's about it. Trebuchet going to be coming out, looking to turn its attention towards the outpost here of his opponent. Cannon firing off towards that keep. Viper going to be turning his attention down towards the south as we see it. And the question is whether Beastie's going to be even able to contest these sacred sites. Central sacred site, you can see there's no keeps on it, but there is a lot of information before any potential attack comes through. Palace guards coming out. Villagers actually dying right now to the Springalds with the 12 range. You can see Beastie trying to gather up that food on the front line. He's desperate for food. He's got so many villagers coming out of those town centers, and he's really starting to beg the question whether it was worth going into that 3TC. You can see his population starting to build. He's up to 169, but Viper sitting safely on 190. He's managing to solidify this southern position even further. Palace guards beginning to move out in tandem with crossbows. A couple Springalds going to be out here. These are clock tower Springalds. A little bit more health, but nowhere near as much range as the Age 4 Springalds from his opponent. Now Viper looking to try and round the corner. We can see that he manages to find Springalds out in the open. There's 3 out here. He's going to be looking to commit to them because he knows that if he takes out the Springalds of his enemy, he's going to be free to take out the nest of bees on the backline, and archers just continuing to firing off upon the units of the enemy. Nest of bees going to be going down, and with that, this position on the sacred site going to be completely threatened. Viper, beautiful micro in that position. All of the Springalds going to be going down. Viper doing a great job of just controlling the narrative in this game and just forcing the issue. He's picked his timing, and he's picked it very well. The second TC timing was immaculate. The Castle Age timing was perfect. And now we hear that 3-minute timer going off. Viper has 3 minutes to victory, and Beastie needs a miracle at this point in time. He's not going to be able to contest this site in the north. The Red Palace is here. He's not going to be able to contest this site in the south. We've got Bombards. We've got an entire army. We've got Springalds. We've got elite Royal Knights. We've got elite archers that's even come through for Viper right now. When he's looking to continue getting those upgrades, we can see he's got +2 armor, +3 melee attack. He is the French, and he is fierce, and he is fighting. Viper looking to take that Conqueror status off Beastie Cutie. In fact, not even a status, it's a rank. Viper looking to take this rank off Beastie Cutie, and if he comes through with the damage that he's doing at the moment, he might just do it, because I don't really see any potential way that Beastie comes back into this game. Beastie at the moment, he's sitting on 3 TCs, but he's going to need a lot more than villagers at this point to save him, because he is on quite literally a timer. And now villagers move up towards the north. I suspect it's going to be a keep, a little bit of a beachhead that's coming in, but I don't even think Beastie Cutie realizes that there is a Red Palace here, and immediately the keep gets denied. All of the 800 resources gets taken out. Now the Red Palace is revealed. Second keep going to be going up, immediately denied. Beastie Cutie is taps out. Beastie Cutie says, good game, well played. What a terrible outcome for Beastie Cutie. He looked to establish a beachhead upon that front and did not find anything. Good game, well played. Check out Beastie, check out Viper. I'll leave links into the description. And wow, what a game of Age of Empires 4.